Mikey Williams pleads guilty to one felony count of making threats. So in his plea deal, he has to attend cognitive behavioral therapy, gun safety, and anger management classes, as well as completing 80 hours of community service. If
Mm-hmm.
he completes all of this successfully, and it has no new violations to occur, the charges will be dropped to a misdemeanor. Also, after August 12th of next year, he cannot have any firearms in his possessions for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sticks, you posed this question, so I'll push it off to you first.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think this will affect his endorsements, his endorsement deals moving forward?
Well, in as all this has been going on with Mikey, and yes, and you worded it a little bit different, and it's probably correct because I probably looked at it a little bit wrong. So I know it was reduced to two felony counts: one for making criminal threats, and one for personal use of a firearm and commission of a crime. And they carry a felonious charge of a total of 13 years in prison, but
Mm-hmm.
they're looking to reduce that to the counseling, the anger management, and the 80 hours of community service. And I thought that was after August 12th because I know they're doing
Mm-mm.
another hearing after August 12th, and they figure, this year is already gone. He already missed the first 7 games of the season. They just going to, have this as a wash and then start over fresh after August 12th when they make their actual decision. But you're saying it's already been decided that he has to do these things to get it reduced to a misdemeanor?
Yeah,
Okay, got you. Okay,
from what
got
I
you.
read, is he pled guilty to that one count
Facts.
of
Facts.
making a threat,
Mm-hmm.
and then which because of the firearm being in his possession,
Mm-hmm.
made it a felony.
Mm-hmm.
And then upon him completing those successfully and having no other violations, as far as whatever the case may be, it will be reduced to a misdemeanor.
Got you. And then after August 12th is whenever he has to have no firearms in his possessions for a decade.
Right.
Got you. Okay, cool. So back to the question. I just wanted to clear that up because I was kind of misconstrued on that.
Yeah.
But as far as his NIL valuation, of course, before all of this was happening, his valuation was at like $3.3 million. He had the Puma
Hmm.
thing. He had a couple other endorsements that he was doing. So from what I know, he's already lost those. From what I know, and
You gotta move that
will
mic in a different location.
I got to because I'm always hit. I just got to move it like either up a little bit because I
Yeah,
talk.
yeah.
I'm animated. I talk with my hands.
Or
You
just
feel
get
me?
another
You feel me?
boom or something. I
I
don't know.
gotta bring it up. I don't know what I gotta do, but either way, um, so he's already lost Puma. He's already lost his a lot of his other NIL deals. So moving forward, if he's able to, I feel like since he's already lost these, he's down to ground zero from what I know. I don't know if he's got any other deals that he's still doing. I'm pretty sure he's got something with social media, with TikTok, Instagram, these things that where he's still making money. But as far as his big brands, he's lost. So moving forward, if he's able to go through the counseling, go through the anger management, complete the 80 hours of community service, keep his nose clean throughout this whole process. And after he completes everything and everything's dropped to the misdemeanor and his image is clean from this whole situation, I think over time he can build his prestige again to be able to get more NIL deals. And that just
Mhm.
really just depends upon how he moves, because I've been following Mikey for a couple of years. Two Complex has been following Mikey for a couple of years now, for at least a year now, because that's how long we've been in. That's how long we've been around. So from what I saw from his public perception, whenever he was in interviews, he was a very, very well-spoken, very, very knowledgeable kid. But outside of those interviews, Buddy was arrogant. Not gonna lie. But he had a lot of reason. I ain't gonna say he had reason to be arrogant. There's a difference between arrogance and confidence. But he was a very arrogant kid. If you saw the things that he posted on social media, you see the way that he talks in some of these lives that he posts, or some of the interviews that, like the vlogs that he would post. Like, he's a very arrogant kid, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And he's very confident, but a lot of that confidence exudes into arrogance. So he just has to change his public perception, because I think a lot of people already thought that he was this type of kid, just by the way that he moves on social media and the way that he moves in his life, people already thought he was the type of kid. So I think he needs to change his public perception a little bit to be able to get these deals back and show that he can be the type of athlete and the type of spokesperson for the brand that these companies need to either get to bring him back or to get new things. So I think he has a really strong chance to change the perception. It's just depending upon how he moves. What you think?
So I agree with that. The only caveat I'll add to that is, yeah, if he's able to keep his nose clean, then he'll have a second opportunity to get those endorsements back. The caveat I'll add is it also depends on how the University of Memphis decides to handle this situation. Because if he's not in school, he can't get these
Facts.
endorsement deals. If he's not
Facts.
playing sports, he won't be able to get these endorsement deals. And if Memphis decides to handle this, how most universities would probably handle a situation like this is he has a felony charge or some type of charge. And it hurts me to say that because I don't like to paint kids
Right.
in a negative light like that.
Right.
But this is what's on paper right now for him. How most universities decide to handle individuals that attend their colleges that have criminal records, so they get rid of them. And if one does it, the others fall in suit. And so if Memphis says, you know what, nah, we don't want him to be a part of our program, then it'll probably be hard for him to get into another, transfer to another university and, resume activity as usual, because they don't want to deal with that. They don't want to be seen as the school that's given a kid an opportunity that has been in this amount of trouble, especially with this amount of I can't talk today for whatever reason, publicity behind it. And so I think it really all depends on how the University of Memphis decides to handle this. And I know the coach, Penny Hardaway, for those that are familiar, has been, trying to stay in Mikey's corner, but sometimes it's above your pay grade. It's above what you can do for a kid. So it's really how Memphis, to me, decides to handle this situation. And if they decide to be stern on it, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a very much so uphill battle for him to get those deals back.
Facts. And his defense attorney, Randy Grossman, who was one of Mikey's defense attorneys, said that he actually spoke to Penny, and this is a direct quote from what he said. It says they're still supportive of Mikey. They believe in him, so we'll see. I don't know how they're going to view this now. On one hand, you could say the case is still pending because he hasn't been sentenced. On the other hand, he has pled guilty. Maybe they say pleading guilty to a felony disqualifies him, but a misdemeanor they don't have an issue with. So if he completes all of this, the three things he has to complete: the counseling, the anger management, the 80 hours of comm serve, then if it's reduced to a misdemeanor, then I don't think Penny has any issue bringing him back. That's just my opinion. But if he doesn't keep his nose clean, doesn't complete the things that he needs to complete, he ain't gonna be nowhere because he gonna go to jail. So it's like Mikey got to keep his nose clean. When it's all said and done, Mikey just got to keep his nose clean and make sure he completes what he needs to complete and get back on the court. Because from one athlete to another, that's what I know he really want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is a error in judgment that he had. I know he probably feels some type of way about it and wish he never did it. But at the same time, it's like, damn, me as an athlete, I would want to get back on the court. Do what I'm good at, where I'm home at, where I feel safe at. Because I know he has dreams, he has the skill and the personality and the charisma and the knowledge of the game to go to the league. And I know that's what his ultimate goal is, but he's not going to be able to do that without being on the court. So he got to do whatever he can do, whatever he needs to do to get back on that court for sure.
Yeah. And I know we love to, not us specifically, but some in this country love to talk bad about the country. But America does love to give you second chances.
Indeed.
Now, they might not give you many chances after that, but they do like to give you second chances. And so I think if he is able to continue his time at the University of Memphis, uh, and he'll get the second chances to resume life as he knew it before this incident happened.
Yeah, I think he get another chance, man. I just hope he keeps his nose clean and moves on from there, learns from it, takes the lesson that is in it. Oh, y'all still here? That means y'all must like the content then. And if that's the case, go ahead and click on that video right here. We think you're going to love this one as well. And we still got the 500 subscriber goal. Help us get to that. Hit that subscribe button right there on the screen too. And we on all your streaming platforms, wherever you find your podcast.